Would I do it again? Every single time. No hesitation, not for a second. My wife and I were 21 years old when we took in an 11-year-old boy. He was her younger cousin. We weren't asked. We weren't assigned. We just looked at what was in front of us and thought, we cannot leave him there. What followed was the best decision of our lives, and one of the most complicated. This is that story. We'd known for a while that his home life wasn't good. His mother was struggling, with substances, with mental health, with just getting through the day. We offered to take him and his older brother, who was 14, for the summer, just to give them a break. At the end of summer, I drove them back. I had been to the house before, but I hadn't seen it like this. The smell hit us when we got to the door. Inside, mess. The television they'd had when we dropped them off was gone, sold. The mattress the two boys shared was on the floor. One mattress. Both of them. I stood there taking it in, and the 11-year-old, my wife's cousin, this kid I'd known his whole life, looked at me and said, I couldn't wait for school to start back. I asked him why. Because then I get to eat every day, like when I'm at your house. I told them both to get back in the car. We didn't leave them there. His mother didn't call to ask where he was. Not that week. Not that month. The first time she called was tax season. She wanted to know if we were planning to claim him on our taxes. That was the call. No happy birthday. No Christmas. No, how is he? Is he okay? Does he need anything? Tax season. We got full custody about a year later. He was 12. He grew up with us, properly. Not as a guest, not as a project. As a kid in our house who needed feeding and driving to school and arguing with about his homework. My wife and I were young. We were figuring out our own lives at the same time we were figuring out how to raise someone else's. We made mistakes. We also showed up every single day in ways no one had shown up for him before. He was a good kid, good grades, good head on his shoulders. People who met him had no idea what he'd come from. His older brother moved in and out over the years, spending time with us, then going back to try and help his mother, then returning again. We kept the door open for him too, always. For a while, it looked like the story was going to have a clean ending. It wasn't until years later, when he was grown, when he left us to go live with friends instead of going to college, when the substance abuse started, that we began to understand the full weight of what he had carried. Things had happened in that house before we took him out of it. Things a child should never have to survive, that he had kept inside for years without telling a single person. The addiction makes sense, in the way that terrible things sometimes do once you know the whole picture. It doesn't make it easier to watch. It doesn't make it easier to love someone at a distance, because getting close means your children see something no child should see in someone they love. But we have never, for a single moment, stopped loving him. The last time I spoke with him, I told him, I love you. When you're ready, I will help you get into a good place and get back on your feet. That offer is not going anywhere. Neither are we. People sometimes ask whether taking him in was the right choice, whether we were naive, whether, knowing what we know now, we would make the same call. The answer is the same as it has always been, every single time. Because there was a child who ate one meal a day and called it normal. A child who couldn't wait for September because school meant he wouldn't go hungry. A child whose mother remembered him once a year, and only because of the tax return. We were 21. We were not ready. We did it anyway. And whatever comes next, however hard the road he's on right now, he knows that someone chose him, that someone said, get back in the car, that someone has never once given up on him and never will. That is not nothing. I believe with everything I have that it is not nothing. This story was adapted with care from a real submission.